So if you've ever wanted to learn Thai, keep watching this video. In this video, I'm going to share 3 tips that helped me learn Thai and just adjust to life in Chiang Mai a lot easier. So number 1, and this is one of the most common ways that people do this, is to study at a Thai language program. So whether you do that through an education visa or if you hire a private tutor to do that. For me, I really enjoyed the private tutor aspect because with one-on-ones, I feel like I can retain information a lot easier. However, the group classes at the university that I took in Chiang Mai definitely helps give me at least a baseline foundation of learning the actual alphabet, so the consonants and the vowels, and learning basic vocabulary that I was then able to use, in my daily life to practice. And for the Thai one-on-one tutors, I think I paid 300 baht for 1 hour, and we met at a coffee shop, and she brought her own booklet of vocabulary words and phrases and different concepts that she thought would be helpful for me. And then she also gave me the space to practice, if I wanted to practice, a few weeks ago I wanted to learn how to explain what was wrong with my motorbike, because when I go to the motorbike shop, I never knew how to explain and had to use Google Translate. And so we practiced that for the hour, how to say to change your oil, or there's something wrong with my engine or whatever it is. And so I really like the private tutor aspect because it's a little more flexible in terms of what you want to learn and how you spend your time, versus in an education program at the university, for example, or if you're at a private language school, they kind of have their own structure and course, outline for how the classes go. So there's not as much flexibility with that. But I do think the group classes in the Thai language programs can still help, again, give you a baseline understanding, with the alphabet and learning consonants and vowels, and also learning just basic vocabulary that then, again, you can practice in your daily life. And so the second thing that really helped me, and I think this probably helped me the most, was actually practicing, even if I didn't actually know what I was saying, or if I was saying things wrong or pronouncing them wrong. So Thai is a tonal language, so you can say the same thing 5 different tones, and they can mean completely different things. And so I think for me, just actually practicing in my day-to-day life, so every time I went to a coffee shop, every time I went to a restaurant, I would order only in Thai. And even if I was wrong, most of the time they could understand what I was trying to say, or they would correct me. And so even that just small correction would help me learn how to say it next time, or how to pronounce it different or more clear in the next time I went to, that cafe or that restaurant. I also tried to use it, even at gas stations. I would say, this is what I need this number, this amount of gas in Thai. And just the repetition of doing it over and over again really helped me learn. And so I think from there I was able, even now to this day, I can, have daily conversations in the everyday things that I'm doing. And again, even if you don't pronounce it correctly, the majority of the time people will still understand what you're trying to say, and people appreciate that you're actually trying to learn and you're putting yourselves out there, and even if you're not saying it correctly, at least you're trying. And I've noticed even at there's a cafe near my house that I go all the time, and I speak Thai to them the majority of the time, but if there's words that I don't know, I will ask them, how do you say this in Thai, or what's the correct tone or pronunciation for this specific word. And people are always so helpful. So I think actually practicing every single day and just forcing yourself to be a little uncomfortable so that you can learn, because like I said in the beginning, I was saying things completely wrong, but because I was saying the vocabulary words within the same sentence, they would understand what I was trying to get across for the most part. And when I first moved to Chiang Mai, actually, I mentioned before, I was working as a family counselor here, and so I had a lot of Thai coworkers at the time, and so that honestly helped me a lot too, because they spoke Thai, and so I was around them all the time. Now it's not so much because I don't work as a family counselor anymore, and most of my friends here are foreigners from all over the world, so it's not as common now. But even again, like I said, I meet people that are out, or even Grab drivers that pick me up, which is our ride service here. I'll talk to them in Thai or explain something to them in Thai, or they'll ask me questions about myself too, and I use that opportunity to again practice until I get it right. And tip number 3, and the last thing that I think also really helped me, is watching Thai movies and listening to Thai music. So So here I watch Thai Netflix, so there's a lot of Thai series that I watch, and when I was first learning Thai and really trying to understand like the basics of the language, I try to watch it at least a few times a week with subtitles. So even though I didn't understand exactly what was being said, I could hear the pronunciation of words, and I could see the subtitles and kind of translate, you know, vocabulary words here and there. So in the beginning, I was able to point out like, oh, I recognize that word and I know what that means, or yeah, I think just immersing yourself in listening, I think, has helped me a lot. I think even now, I can understand more than I can speak. I can definitely speak. I'm not fluent, but I'm also not like very basic, so I can have like more, I guess, intermediate conversations, but I think because I was watching a lot of like Thai movies and just like listening in general, even when I'm out in public places, just listening to people speak Thai, that I'm able to pick up and listen more, so I can understand a lot of what I'm hearing. But sometimes it's a little difficult for me to formulate like sentences. Again, I can speak for the most part and have conversations, but when it gets super complex, that's where I'm like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but I don't know how to respond to this. So yeah, and listening to music, I think, as well, you start again to pick up on different vocabulary words here or there. So I think that has also really helped. Obviously everyone learns languages in different ways and they all have different learning styles, but I think these three core areas, so you know, either getting a private tutor or learning at like a Thai language program, watching Thai movies and series, and listening to Thai music, and also just immersing yourself and practicing in your daily life. So practice every single day. I think those things have really helped me. But again, you have to determine what's the best like learning style for you and how you learn best. For me, this is completely new. I can speak English and I can understand a lot of Spanish because I'm from Southern California, and where I grew up there's a lot of Spanish speaking friends and family around, and so learning Thai language was a completely new thing for me. And so if I can do it, anyone can do it. It's definitely taken some time, and again, I'm not fluent, but I definitely can get by more than just, you know, the average person. So I think that says a lot. So if you're interested in learning Thai and you're wondering like how can you start to develop those skills when you move to Chiang Mai and if you're here long term, I definitely recommend these 3 tips, and I can put in the description as well the schools that are recommended here, so private language schools, but also the university that I studied at if anyone's interested, and also my Thai tutor. I can see if I can share her information as well if you are interested in that. So I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to turn on your notifications for the channel, like this video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.